Good evening. Welcome to the Oconee County Board of Commissioners meeting. Today is Tuesday, March the 28th, 2023. If you're joining us virtually to comment during the public comment portions of the meeting, please use the raise hand feature in Zoom. After a moment of silence, we'll ask Mark Thomas to lead us in the pledge. Please stand. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, first time of business is to approve the agenda. We have a motion second. All in favor? Thank you. Motion carries. Any statements or remarks from citizens or anything not on the agenda tonight? Anyone virtually? Very good. Any comments from commissioners? A few announcements here. State Route 15 at Summit Grove. The traffic shift occurred today, so be careful as you're going through that area. There will be some delays as construction continues on the roundabout. Also want to announce the Board of Tax Assessors has appointed Wayne Patrick as the new chief appraiser. He'll be taking over for Alan Skinner, who retires later this month. Wayne brings over 20 years of experience in property assessor departments, including most recently serving as chief appraiser for Hart County. Prior to that, he worked with Madison County and also spent 4 years in Oconee County as an appraiser 3 before joining Hart County in 2011. So welcome to Mr. Wayne Patrick. Comprehensive Plan Update Open House is March 29th, which is tomorrow night. You're invited to provide feedback on Oconee County Comprehensive Plan. The open house meeting will be a drop-in meeting on the 29th, which is tomorrow at Oconee Veterans Park from 3 to 7. Our next item is business involving to discuss the tax commissioner agreement. You've all received copies of it. We received confirmation from the tax commissioner. She's in agreement with all the elements in the final version that we just sent out. So does any commissioners have any questions on those? Any item on the list? Okay. Be all right for consent agenda for approval? Yes. Very good. The next item is discuss the FY23 Aging Services contract with the Northeast Georgia Regional Commission. Mary?
Good evening, Chairman, Commissioners. This is a contract it's a funding contract between Northeast Georgia Regional Commission and the Board of Commissioners. This contract began on January the 1st, 2023. We have been receiving funding for it, but they're trying to do their housekeeping and get it all the documents signed and everything. So it's about the American Rescue Plan that was signed into law on March 2021. It provides the funding to carry out the Older Americans Act. The law provides funding for meals, caregiver services, wellness services, supportive services, and efforts related to any COVID vaccinations, including outreach, transportation, communication, and helping the individuals get to the places where they need to get for vaccinations. The ARPA contract for Oconee County will provide funding here for Oconee County as it relates to home delivered meals, congregate meals, and senior recreation supportive services. Our contract is $47,717.71, and our matching funds would be $3,045.82. Recommend approval.
Any questions for Mary on this? Be all right for consent agenda? Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any public comment? Anyone virtually? Thank you. Next item is discuss the State Route 53 at Ray's Church and Malcolm Bridge Road right-of-way contract. Jody?
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. This item of business is it really just formalizes the agreement that we had with Georgia DOT about the roundabout project. And when the commitment table was originally submitted, it was an in lieu of letter. We didn't get a formal agreement at that time. So this is just formalizing the agreement that we will purchase the right of way for the State Route 53 at Ray's Church project. And then it is non-reimbursable. So those funds, the administrative costs and the real property costs, the county will put that into as part of the agreement that we've already made with Georgia DOT. And Public Works recommends approving this agreement and authorizing the chairman to execute the documents.
Any question on this item? Be all right for consent? Yes. Very good. Thank you. Any public comment? Anyone virtually? Thank you. Next item is discuss the acceptance of sanitary sewer easements, assignment of easements, and right-of-way deeds to Oconee County.
We have one right-of-way deed, just perfectly standard. I think this is Jody Malcolm Bridge Road, I think. One we just did. Yeah, Malcolm Bridge Road. And all you're doing is just accepting the right-of-way.
Any questions on this item? You all right for consent? Very good. Any public comment? Anyone virtually? Thank you. Next time to discuss change order for Station 1 air truck.
Thank you. Good evening. I am here to discuss a change order request for the airlight truck that was ordered, really approved in January of 2022 for Fire Station number 1. Since that time, due to supply chain issues and the request to add a priority fill system, there's been change order request on the contract, $20,296 for a total contract of $269,811. So the request is for the approval of the change order and the total contract amount with budget amendments as needed to complete the contract. The budget amendment source is from SPOS 2021. And I can answer any questions if you have any.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. Be all right for consent on this one as well? Very good. Any public comment? Anyone virtually? Thank you. Our next item is discuss the budget amendment to fund sheriff's office vehicles and related equipment.
Thank you. So again, due to supply chain issues, the sheriff's office placed an FY 24 kind of pre-order or a request to be placed on order for upcoming vehicles, 8 vehicles and equipment. To our surprise, the vehicles were available much earlier than July 1st. So rather than risk the chance that they may not be available in FY 24, the request is to go ahead and purchase the vehicles in FY 23. The vehicles will be purchased from SPOS funding. The annual allocation is $360,000. And we also have one fleet vehicle that's available for the sheriff's office from the general fund in the amount of $55,000. So the request is to allow a budget amendment in the current fiscal year of $415,000 to go ahead and purchase the vehicles and equip them for use. For that budget amendment being approved for the life of the contract in case there are any supply chain delays on the equipment orders. And if you consider and approve this, then we would not request any additional sheriff's office vehicles in the FY 24 budget when it's presented for your consideration.
Any questions on that? Be all right for consent?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any public comment? Anyone virtually? Next item is consider a memorandum of understanding with same.
Good evening, Commissioners. Before you have a proposed memorandum of understanding between Oconee County and Sane Anchor Point. This agreement serves 2 purposes. One is to advocate for our citizens in any sort of a situation where Sane can serve them in a matter that does not concern law enforcement, such as any sort of a crisis intervention, a mental health problem, a displacement problem, due to a whole host of concerns that they could face, and that our entities, including fire rescue and animal services, could have contact with those folks that would need the services of Sane Incorporated. And secondly, by executing this memorandum of understanding, that will allow them to seek accreditation to continue to demonstrate their strong partnership with the county. So I'll be happy to address any questions and also point out that the director is here this evening to support.
Any questions on this? Thank you. Be all right for consent agenda? Any public comment? Anyone virtually? With that, we do need an executive session to discuss land acquisition and personnel. All in favor? Thank you. Motion carries. Well, motion second during regular session. All in favor? Commissioner Saxon.
Second.
We are adjourned.